Hey, what's good, guys? So, I don't know what I'm going to title this story. I don't want to do an almost died title because, first of all, I'm pretty sure I already have a video titled that. And second of all, that's the most overused meme title there is. So, I don't fucking know what I'm going to title this. But this story time is a very recent one, okay? This story takes place 2 days ago. And I tweeted about it and I gave a brief description, but I didn't really go into too much detail of exactly what happened. And people are like, oh, new story, new story. So, I figured I'd make a video about it. If you guys like this video, please leave a like on the video. Leave a like for my face because I got hurt in this story. And I guess you could say this is my most recent near-death experience. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump right into this, okay? So like I said, this story takes place 2 days ago. But let's go back to 3 days ago, okay? So 3 days ago, I was with my friends. My friend was visiting from Ohio, and my other friend that lives here in my hometown was hanging out with me. We were just driving around. And I decided to go to this store that sells go-karts, mini bikes, stuff like that. Because I really wanted to buy a mini bike, just a straight up little motorcycle thing that goes 20 miles an hour, just to ride around when I'm bored or something. I could take it to my friend's house and ride it in his backyard because he owns a bunch of land, and it just seemed like a cool little purchase to make, right? So I go there, I look at the mini bikes, and they're $400, and I'm like, okay, not the most expensive thing in the world, but it's a little bit pricey. And then right next to the mini bike, I see this dune buggy go-kart thing, this little two-seater dune buggy / go-kart. It looked like an off-roading thing, and I was reading the box, and it had the same CC as the mini bike, but it went faster. The mini bike's top speed was 20 miles an hour, and the dune buggy / go-kart thing went about 31 miles an hour. So I saw this, and I was like, okay, that thing is badass. I want that. How much is that? And the guy from the store is like, oh, it's $999. And I was like, oh, shit, it's a lot more expensive. But then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? This is going to do way better on off-roading. This is going to fit 2 people instead of 1. And I'm going to have a shit ton more fun with this thing. So, out of impulse, I bought the fucking thing. Not the smartest move, okay? Don't be an idiot like me. I just wanted to have some fun. I haven't gotten myself a little gift in a long time. I was like, you know what? This is going to be a good investment. So I buy this fucking dune buggy, and we take it into the parking lot. We build it, get it working in an hour, and my friend drives it to his house because we didn't have a truck to put it in to drive it back to mine, and I lived way farther away from the store than he did. So we drive it to his house, and then he drives me back to my house and leaves it in his backyard. And then he goes back to his house, empties out his car, puts all his seats down, and somehow manages to fit the dune buggy in the back of his car. It wasn't the biggest thing. It was kind of a small dune buggy. But luckily, my friend kind of had a bigger SUV kind of car. This would have never fit in a normal 4-door car. This was an SUV that he put it in, and he had all the seats down and everything emptied out of the car. That's how it just barely fit. And the trunk didn't close. Half of the fucking dune buggy was hanging out of the back, and it was strapped in with one bungee cord. So it could have fallen out easily. But anyway, he drives it back to my house, and we spend the whole night pretty much riding it around. Which, again, is also a dumb idea. Never ride a dune buggy without any headlights at nighttime or on the street. You're supposed to take it off-roading on, land somewhere or, somewhere where you're allowed to do it. This was a dumb idea. So anyway, right, that night goes on. It was a fun night. I got used to it. We were drifting it around, just, going crazy. And keep in mind, we didn't fully build it, okay? The original picture of the dune buggy on the box had a roll cage on it. It had a top. So in case you flipped over, you were kind of protected from smacking your head into the ground and stuff like that. We didn't put the roll cage on. We just put on the basic parts that would make it work. So we put the seat on, the steering wheel, all the tires, and put some oil and gas in it and started it up, and it worked. So we were drifting around going top speed without the roll cage on. So if we flipped, we would get seriously fucked up. So we're really lucky we didn't flip that night or crash or anything. So anyway, we take it back to my house after it gets pretty late. We park it, and we decide to go back to it the next day because it was getting really late, and it's loud, and we didn't want to wake up all my neighbors. And then the next day rolls around, okay? And I drove it around a little bit in the morning to show my mom what it was like because she didn't see it yet. And then my friend came over, the one who helped me build it, and my other friend woke up, who was staying at my house visiting from Ohio. And we were all hanging out in the front yard. And my friend goes, hey, I'm going to attach the roll cage. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So he attaches it, screws everything in, makes it safe, and now it has a top. So it had a roof, like a roll cage. But it wasn't completely enclosed. It was just 2 bars over us when we drove. And I forgot to mention this, but the night before we parked it away for the night, my friend messed with the engine and tweaked it and got it to go faster than what the box said. So I think originally it was supposed to go 30, and he got it going all the way close to 40. So it was going a little bit faster than what it was supposed to be, which already isn't safe. Never do that. Anyway. Fast forward back to where I was talking. We got the roll cage attached. We started it up, and I was like, yo, let's go for a ride. So I hop in the driver's seat. I didn't put my seatbelt on or anything, so I'm a dumbass. My friend gets in, and we start driving. And I'm going like full speed down my neighborhood road, just enjoying the nice wind in my face, just taking a fucking nice drive. And then I stop, and I'm like, hey, do you want to drive? And he's like, yeah, for sure. Keep in mind, I don't have my license, and my friend who was going to drive does have his license. So we switch seats. I don't put my seatbelt on again because I'm a dumbass, and he didn't put his on either in the driver's seat. And we start going, and he gets up to full speed really quick, like really, really fast. And I was holding on to the top of the roll cage. That was pretty much the only thing keeping me sitting still. I don't know. I was like sitting there in the seat, holding on to the top of the roll cage with one hand. My other hand was just kind of resting to the side of me, and my friend was driving. And we come to this left turn, and instead of slowing down and taking it nice and light, he decides to just slam on the gas and turn the wheel all the way to the left to try and drift it around the turn. And I swear, it felt like I was about to die at this moment because we started to drift, and then we hit this gutter on the side of the street, this little ditch thing. And I felt the suspension bounce and flip. And I can just feel the dune buggy fucking lift up off the ground with me and him in it. And we're just flipping. And like my friend looked over at me in the air. And he said that I just looked like I gave up. Like, this is it. This is how I'm going to die. And he wasn't far off because that's exactly how I fucking felt. We were flying through the air. And I'm just like, dude, I'm about to fucking die. I don't have my seatbelt on. I'm in a fucking dune buggy with no enclosed space. So it's pretty much just a couple bars protecting me. I'm literally about to fucking die. And we were flipping, and then it lands right on the roof of the roll cage, upside down, on the pavement, and I smack my fucking face right into it. And then it keeps rolling onto a second time. And on the second flip, I fell out of the side of the buggy, like completely flew out of the side, and landed on someone's front lawn and just kind of laid there. I couldn't hear anything. My vision was all fuzzy. It felt like I just got flashbanged, and I felt my face just throbbing because I smacked it into the ground. And I'm just laying there, and my friend comes up to me, and he's like, yo, are you okay? Are you okay? And he's like picking me up, and I'm like, am I bleeding? And he's like, no, like, I don't think you are. And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked down at my phone, and I didn't see anything too messed up with my face. And then I turn around, and I see one of my neighbors coming out going, what happened? And I look over, and I just see the dune buggy completely just fucked up sitting in his yard. And like the tires are completely fucked. Like the steering broke. One of the tires was half off. And it's so scratched up. Like the whole top of the roll cage was scratched. And I was like, what the fuck? Did that just actually happen? And my friend's super dizzy. He sat down because he was about to pass out and his knee was all fucked up. And he's so lucky because he stayed in the car the whole time. So he didn't fly out and like get any more fucked up than what it already did. And the neighbor goes, what happened? And I was like, it flipped. We wrecked in your yard. And he's like, you know, I should call the cops. You're not even supposed to be driving that thing around here. Like, this is illegal. And I was like, look, man, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. Like, it was a complete accident. We weren't trying to land in your yard or anything like that. And pretty much I didn't know what to do. So I just turned around and started walking away from everything. And my friend's like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, I need to walk home for a minute. And I walked all the way back home. And my friend's just standing there talking to the guy. And I just went home and I sat down for a second in the AC and just kind of like regained my consciousness. Like, I was so fucked up. I was so dizzy and so out of it. I didn't know what was going on. And then I kind of came to a little bit, and I was like, oh, shit, I gotta go check on my friend. So I walked back down the street to where it wrecked, and I see my friend there just kind of standing there. And he was trying to fix the broken turning on the dune buggy. And I was like, dude, don't even worry about that right now. Like, just sit down. Like, walk home to my house and sit in the AC. And he's like, nah, man, I can't walk. And he just, like, falls down to the ground and lays on his back. And I was like, all right, dude, just, like, lay there for a minute, chill out. When you feel like you're ready, get up, and I'll walk you home. And finally, he got back up. I walked him home. My other friend, the one that was visiting from Ohio that didn't even see this happen, I told him about what happened, and then he ran over to where the dune buggy was and lifted that shit up from the front and literally rolled it back home with all his strength and got it all the way back to my house and just set it in the driveway. And then he just kind of chilled after that. And me and my friend just kind of sat in the AC and just relaxed. And I was like, yo, you feeling any better? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing a little bit better. And I was like, what happened when I left? He goes, I just talked to that man and his wife. I guess his wife came out, and she said that she saw everything that happened. She literally saw us flip twice and land in the fucking yard and everything. And she got him some water. So that was nice of them. But pretty much in the end, I walked away with hurting my shoulder and kind of my back and then my face. So the whole right side of my face was really, really like sore and just tender the next day. And the inside of my mouth was bleeding a little bit right after we crashed. But pretty much I drank a bunch of water, took an ibuprofen, and then went on with my night because I had a 21 Savage and Post Malone concert to go to. And I was not trying to miss that. And I went and I had some fun. And after that, the next day, that's when I kind of started to feel everything a little bit more. The whole right side of my face was hurting a lot. My shoulder was hurting a lot. And my back was hurting a lot. Because when I landed on the second flip onto the fucking ground, I landed right on my shoulder and my back. And my face was hurting from fucking smashing it in the ground the first time we flipped. So definitely fucking pretty dangerous and very, very fucking scary. Because if we didn't have that roll cage on, if we didn't attach it literally 20 minutes before we started driving it, we would have flipped and landed directly on our fucking heads and necks right in the pavement, and it would have hurt 10 times worse, and I don't know if I would have been making this video. I could have been in a fucking hospital in a neck brace. So I got pretty lucky, so did he. The roll cage was definitely pretty fucked up, so that would have been our heads if that wasn't there. And yeah, guys, moral of the story is, just don't be a dumbass like me. Don't buy a dune buggy for fun, or let your friend who's drift happy drive it, because drifting in a dune buggy on the pavement is not a good idea. And yeah, just don't do that shit, guys. Be careful, ride your bike if you want to have some fun. Go ride your bike on a bike trail somewhere. Don't buy a fucking dune buggy with an engine in it and then flip it and crash. But yeah, guys, if you like this story, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Leave your stories in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace.